Hi, my name is Emily Przybyl. I'm a physician assistant at the Erie County Medical Center in Buffalo, New York. Welcome, and we will be discussing motivational interviewing today. So I would say in general, first things first, get to know your patient a little bit, meaning ask them some general questions regarding their occupation, and if they say they're working in IT, you can kind of get a feel for, are they sedentary during the day? Some patients have different constraints. They're very active. I have a lot of patients that are mail carriers that walk 20,000 steps a day to begin with. So I think just starting there to kind of get a feel of where your patients are and what their goals are and how to get them there. And I generally start with some very basic, open-ended questions. What does your diet look like? Where do you go grocery shopping? And kind of based on that, you can guide the, conversation from there. You may have patients that live on a fixed income. They are on food stamps. On the other end of the spectrum, you have a very well-educated, white-collar person who may have the funds to shop at Whole Foods, but maybe work 80 hours a week and they can't find time to exercise. You really need to know your patient, where they are right now, meeting them there and getting them to where they want to go. And kind of just getting a feel for their diet currently and kind of getting an idea of their knowledge of nutrition and exercise will be your starting point. You will get some patients that are resistant to what you have to say. I recently had a patient say, I only eat meat and potatoes. All right, well, do you think you could reduce your portion size of that steak and add a side salad? Trying to give them kind of brainstorm some ideas for them to see if that is something that they think would be realistic to add into their daily routine. And kind of giving them, the base of you don't expect these changes to be made overnight. I don't expect you to be a marathon runner tomorrow, but something that we can do daily and start small and build on that in order to reach your goals. And I also like to be a little bit more inclusive in terms of diet. I want you to include more lean protein, more fruits and vegetables, rather than kind of coming in hot and heavy and saying, you can never eat fried food, you can never eat your pizza, but trying to get them to limit those food choices and be more inclusive on the good foods. And then also giving them, somewhat of a time frame. I'm really bad at math in my head, so I always kind of calculate, what their weight is and what their weight loss goal will be before I even enter the room. So for patients with MASLD, that weight loss goal being 5 to 7% of their body mass over 6 months. And then for the MASH patients, about 7 to 10% of their body mass over that 6 months. So giving them that time frame, this is where I would like you to be next time I see you in 6 months, just to give them that groundwork and the expectation and what that goal is. And also, trying to incorporate the patient into the decision-making, meaning, do you think it would be beneficial for you to see a nutritionist or dietitian? They may be, open to it at the beginning. If they say no, it's probably just a not yet. At your follow-up visit, you can ask about that. Did you go see that nutritionist? If they say no, you can offer that again. Do you think it would be beneficial to see a bariatric surgeon? Some bariatric surgeons offer full surgery and medical weight loss and nutrition all, under one roof. So you don't have to be locked into getting bariatric surgery, but just giving them the tools to get them to where they want to be. And in terms of, kind of going back to the exercise part of things, seeing where they are right now, and looking at your patient, are they using a cane or a walker to ambulate? That's going to be an entirely different conversation than, someone that has an active job already. Seeing if they can just start by walking 10 to 15 minutes and kind of increase it from there. Patients that are wheelchair bound, trying to encourage them to do exercises sitting down, kind of finding out kind of where they want to go, essentially. Some patients can't afford a gym membership. You can recommend going for walks outside or to the park. But some patients may not be, they may not feel safe or comfortable walking in their neighborhood. You can brainstorm with them and say, do you have stairs at home? You could go up and down your stairs a few times every hour. They can't afford weights or equipment at home. You can offer them some resistance bands that we have in the office, or suggest that they use, canned foods or just different objects in their home. So giving them options and kind of brainstorming with them, including them in their care, makes it more likely for that to stick. In different ethnicities, a lot of my Asian patients say that rice is a cornerstone of their diet, their culture, but just trying to kind of give them different options, maybe doing half rice, half cauliflower rice, just trying to give them little snippets of ideas that they can incorporate to see if they feel that would be realistic. What we're looking for here are lifestyle changes rather than a short-term diet. So trying to encourage them that little changes can make a big difference in their, long-term health. Because if they, go hot and heavy at the beginning, they may fall off the wagon, they may get discouraged. So just trying to keep them motivated, reminding them they're human, progress isn't linear, that you may have bumps in the road, but consistency over perfection. Keep going, keep at it, offer them support along the way. And I think that they will be grateful for that and come back to see you. I think it's a big part of it is your approach, that you want the patients to come back, keep seeing you, and make this a more of a relationship rather than, in and out of the room. I know that that's difficult with the time constraints, but just spending a few, an extra minute or two just to give them that support makes a huge difference in the long run. Thank you for listening, everyone. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out.